Hello, folks. This is Greg Gilbert, host of Python's Paradise, and let's conclude 1996, December 1996. And certainly better than what November had to offer. We'll start off with December 6th, because that offered a movie we didn't get in our theaters, but I did see it down at the university, at UMB. And I really enjoyed it, called Everyone Says I Love You. It's a musical comedy, directed and starring Woody Allen. And, of course, it's got the dysfunctional families and whatnot in it. You've got a beautiful moment in the film where, and that's the part I remember the most, with he and Goldie Hawn in this dance scene where Goldie Hawn just seems to flutter aimlessly, you know. It was a very magical moment. I enjoyed that. You got a lot of interesting characters in the movie. It got a very large cast. Woody Allen deals a lot with ensembles, and I gotta say, this one here, except for a few disjointed, misplaced musical numbers, this film was really, really good, and I rank it up there as one of Woody Allen's best. Everyone Says I Love You gets a 9 out of 10. Check it out. It's a fun musical comedy. Also, jumping ahead to December 13th. Now, December 13th, Friday, December 13th, was a very interesting time because that was when our 10-screen theater at the mall here officially opened. Now, it didn't have a grand opening till the Saturday after, the 14th. I know they played a lot of family films up there, and you could bring a non-perishable for the food bank and go see a movie. And they had a lot of family films playing up there, like Toy Story, and I forget what other ones. The two that I hadn't seen were Fly Away Home and Harriet the Spy, and I chose Harriet the Spy, which I really enjoyed. Anyway, but I didn't go on Friday the 13th. I went across to the Twin Cinemas, and I saw Mars Attacks. And I like Tim Burton, very terrific visual director. But Mars Attacks was a bit of a mess, a creative mess, mind you. But it's almost like Tim Burton just sat the camera down and let the chaos happen. The aliens in it look great. I love the poster. It says, "Nice planet, let's take it." You get a large ensemble cast, Jack Nicholson in 2 roles, including the president. Glenn Close as the first lady. You got Pierce Bronson in this. You got Sarah Jessica Parker. You got Michael J. Fox. You got Jack Black, Christina Applegate. You got Danny DeVito. You got so many names in this, and Lisa Marie playing a really creepy alien in this movie. I remember that. I like the film, but yet the same token, it's not one of the better Tim Burton films. I'll give it a 5 out of 10. It's just kind of average. I prefer that over Independence Day, I'll say that. Now, then you get up to the 20th of December, where I have 2 films I want to address. The first is something I never watched on MTV. I knew what it was, but I really got a cue on it with this film. That's Beavis and Butthead Do America. Very simple plot. Very simple. I mean, a 3-year-old could have wrote the plot. They lose their television set and they want to get it back. But you know what? That kind of suits the characters. You know, and they get involved in this whole scheme that their simple minds don't understand. And I'll be quite frank, I laughed at it. I had fun with it. Directed by Mike Judge, of course, who would score a better film with Office Space, but this was entertaining. It's got some really good voice actors in there with Bruce Willis, Demi Moore, Robert Stack. You know, it's not the best animation, but entertaining enough for me to give it a 6 out of 10, you know. I still had fun with it nonetheless. And then we come to a film that kind of repaired the horror films at that time, and that is Scream. The first Scream. Now, directed by Wes Craven. I'm not a big fan of the Scream franchise, to be frank, but I have a lot of respect for that first movie because I saw that in the theaters. Actually, if I remember correctly, I think I saw that. Did I see that at the at the Twin Cinemas? I might have. I just remember it was shockingly scary. That Drew Barrymore opening was creepy as hell. And you got, of course, Henry Winkler, a.k.a. the Fonz, in it. You know, it was definitely what slasher films needed. And it was very self-aware, which was another thing that made it so great. Of course, you got Courtney Cox in there from Friends, and then you get introduced to, of course, Nev Campbell had done The Craft this year as well. I think Scream was better than The Craft, but nonetheless, what was interesting about Scream is anybody could have wore that ghost mask, and I won't give away the third act, but it was brilliant, because even I didn't see it coming, you know, what they did. And so I give the original Scream a 9 out of 10. Check it out. Well worth seeing. Then we get to Christmas Day, December 25th. And we had a lot of really good films released there. I mean, I really like The People versus Larry Flint, you know. But I want to discuss 2 other films. One is Michael, with John Travolta playing an angel. I was entertained by this film, but coming from a Christian household, and you know, I believe in my watching a comedy where the whole idea is that this angel swears, boozes, has sex, and stuff like that, kind of goes against biblical principles for angels, you know. But that's not to say that John Travolta wasn't entertaining doing it. And he certainly was. And of course, is some positive notes in the film, you know, because he's trying to do something on this road trip where he takes, is it William Hurt and Andy McDowell? It's been so long since I've seen this movie, and tells them some certain things they've got to do. Travolta has the wings. It's comical, but yet kind of works, even works in a dance scene. I give it a 7 out of 10. It's a basic road movie. I had a few issues with the salacious biblical stuff in it, but outside that, you know, very well-made comedy by Nora Ephron. The last film I want to talk about, I went to see just based on its trailer, and that is Albert Brooks's Mother. Oh. Albert Brooks is a pretty funny guy. And this had Debbie Reynolds playing his mom. He moves back in with his mom to see, I guess, to try to sort his life out. I remember the trailer for it drew me, because he's sitting in him and his ex-wife are sitting there, or what soon to be his ex-wife, sitting and talking to a divorce lawyer or something. I haven't seen this film since, but I just remember, you know, lawyer saying, "You're not, you can't go anywhere, you know, blah 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 blah." Albert Brooks goes, "She's divorcing me. She has nothing against the land." I had some fun with it, and of course he's trying to figure out why her relationship with Her brother is so much better. I found the supporting characters were a little flat. But Debbie Reynolds and Albert Brooks are really good in this film, so kudos there. I'll give it a 7.5 out of 10. The best film of the December is got to be... between Everyone Says I Love You and Scream? Wow. I'll go give the edge to Everyone Says I Love You, because it's one I think can hit a broader audience. My favorite would probably be Scream out of that bunch. I can't say anything about many of the sequels, mind you, but that first one, sure. The worst one... Would the worst one actually be Mars Attacks, really? Gee, it's got a 5 out of 10. I mean, it's not like it's going to land on my worst of the year. You know? I mean, I would actually sit down and watch Mars Attacks again, so, hey, kudos to it. But nonetheless, you know, that does complete December. I got a few more for 1996 I'm going to do, like my best ofs, you know. I'm going to do a video on the best of the year, my favorites of the year, because that can differ from best of, and then the worst of the year, which I can assure you Mars Attacks will not be on that list. But anyway, folks, that is December 1996. That is the end of 1996 in film. We are going to be doing 1997 next, and a lot of films to talk about. I'm still debating whether to have 5 films a month or 6. I'm kind of flying that through. So if you notice my year-end review is a little different in terms of films that you thought I might throw on there, that's why, you know. Anyway, folks, enjoy, have a scream, and know that everyone says, I love you. Well, maybe. Maybe. Maybe you're sketchy.